Welcome to the 4-H Online 2.0 Family Resources Staff Training. This training is for staff and should not be distributed to 4-H families or volunteers. Welcome and thank you for attending. Today we will go over the migration of the 4-H Online 2.0 enrollment system and specifics related to family and volunteer use of the system. We are starting with the family experience so staff can gain an understanding of the system at the user level before diving into the staff side of the system. This presentation is recorded, so all attendees will be muted. If you have questions during the presentation, please save them for after the presentation or put them in the chat. I will try to answer questions in the chat during the presentation. After this training, you will be able to know the migration timeline for going to 4-H Online 2.0, know the available family help resources, and understand the family process of the family logging into the system, adding new family members, and enrolling youth and adult volunteers. Let's look at the migration timeline and our plan for moving from 4-H Online 1.0 to 2.0. Working within the period given by our vendor, Registration Max, the 4-H Online 1.0 system will shut down family and county staff logins at noon on June 30, with plans for staff to gain access to 2.0 in late July. Families will not have access to either system from June 30 to August 15th. Families can complete the online self-enrollment process once 4-H Online 2.0 opens for the new program year on August 16th. During the interim period when the system is offline from July 1 to August 15th, necessary enrollments will be completed using paper forms and entered into 4-H Online 2.0 by August 31st with a note in the profile indicating participation during the interim period. Remember that youth that were enrolled in the previous year can continue in the program to participate in the culminating activities tied to their previous year's program enrollment and work without having to re-enroll, as the coverage extends for them to do those final activities. If the youth had been in projects related to, say, their fair showings the previous program year, it would be considered a culminating activity. Returning youth would re-enroll when the system opens August 16th. Adult volunteers that were enrolled in the previous year can continue to serve the program until the system reopens, as it would be part of the usual 6-month overlap of service. Let's go over some important dates. June 30th at noon, 4-H Online 1.0 will be offline to start the migration process. In July, final system changes will be made and corresponding updates will be made in enrollment guidance if necessary. Late July, we anticipate staff to have access to 2.0. In August, we anticipate the opening of 4-H Online 2.0 for family self-enrollment. By the end of August, all paper enrollments from the interim period must be entered into the 4-H Online 2.0 system. Let's look at the resources available to help families understand the enrollment process in 4-H Online 2.0. The Family Enrollment Guide is the main help tool for families. It provides step-by-step instructions for the enrollment process. It was created to be used while in the 2.0 system. Screenshot size was balanced with the need to provide text directions. The Family Enrollment Guide will be posted on the Public Enrollment Forms page shortly before the system is open for family self-enrollment. Let's take a look at that web page. The Family Guide is also hyperlinked in several page messages within the 2.0 system. The Family Enrollment Guide is a PDF document with bookmarks to assist with easy navigation within the document. Let's take a look on how to navigate the PDF. In the PDF, you can go to different sections of the guide by clicking on the table of contents. Alternatively, you can use the thumbnail images to the left to jump to an area of the guide. Or you can use the Bookmarks tab to choose the area of the guide you would like to go to. Another resource for families are family help videos. Family videos were created to provide visual help for families navigating the 2.0 enrollment process. Short, topical videos with closed captions are available for viewers. These will also be posted on the public enrollment forms page shortly before the system is open for family self-enrollment. Additional videos will be produced as needed. Before we get into the specifics of enrollment, let's go over the enrollment pathway in 4-H Online 2.0. This was also presented in the 4-H Online 2.0 overview staff training back in November. At the family level, a family profile is created. This is the same as 1.0. However, the member and program level are separate in 2.0. At the member level, the family adds individuals, youth or adults, into the system and creates a profile. At this point, demographics and contact information is collected. Remember, the profile is a member's record in the system. A member may or may not have a 4-H enrollment associated with the profile. Also, a member may refer to a youth or an adult volunteer. Once a profile is created, the enrollment into 4-H can begin at the program level. Information collected at this point includes waivers, consents, releases, and how that individual is participating in the program by enrolling into units and projects. Enrollment is submitted by the family. Let's continue the enrollment pathway. Once enrollment is submitted, the family process is complete for youth. The volunteer enrollment process continues. They progress in the system by completing the volunteer screening. This screening information is added into the system. Volunteers then complete the required trainings in e-extension. County managers review the enrollment information for both youth and adults, and if appropriate, approve the volunteer screening and then approve the enrollment. Here is the overview of the enrollment pathway in 4-H Online 1.0 and 4-H Online 2.0 for comparison. Now let's get into the specifics of the family experience in 4-H Online 2.0 with creating a new family account. If families had an account in 1.0, they already have an account in 2.0. For families and volunteers new to the program, they will need to create a new family account. We do not want returning families to create a new account in 2.0, as this would be a duplicate account and would not leak enrollment history that is currently in 1.0. Resources to help families through this process include the Family Enrollment Guide and the Family Video. Let's take a look at the Family Video. For best system functionality, Registration Max, the vendor of 4-H Online 2.0, recommends the use of Chrome and Firefox browsers. If you had an account in 4-H Online 1.0, enter the login information for your existing account here. If you did not have an account, click Do Not Have an Account, select California from the drop-down menu, select University of California, choose your county of residence from the drop-down menu, and complete your family's information. Enter a valid email address you check regularly. Enter the family name. This is your family's last name. It is okay if your family members have different last names than the one you choose for the family name. If your family does not have a mobile phone, you may enter a valid phone number. Choose and confirm a password for your account. Passwords must be a minimum of 10 characters with a number, a capital letter, or a symbol. Once you have finished all this information, click Create Account. Enter your family's address information. Then click Verify. The verification process may require you to select an appropriate United States Postal Service format. You have now successfully created a family login. Now you can start to enroll members into your family. Now that we have looked at creating a new family account, let's look at the family experience for adding a new family member. Remember, the term member in 2.0 can refer to a youth or an adult volunteer. If a member had a profile in 1.0, they already have a profile in 2.0. Only those new to the program will need to create a new profile by adding a new member to the family account. We do not want returning members to create a new profile in 2.0, as this would be a duplicate profile and would not have the historical enrollment data from 1.0. Currently, Registration Max is developing the merge feature in 2.0, but it is not yet complete. Resources to help guide families through this process include the Family Enrollment Guide and the Family Video. Let's take a look at the Family Video. For best system functionality, Registration Max, the vendor of 4H Online 2.0, recommends the use of Chrome and Firefox browsers. Enter your email address and password, then click Sign In. Click to continue to sign in. If this is your first time logging into the system, this is the screen you will see. Choose to join 4H and click Next. Throughout 4H Online 2.0, the term member is used to refer to both youth and adult volunteers. Enter the member's information, first and last names. This is your lived name or your preferred name that may or may not differ from your legal name. The preferred name is not required, but may be a shortened name you prefer to be called. The birth date is in the format of month, day, and year. You may enter the text or click the calendar icon and choose the year, month, and day. Date of birth is used to determine the youth or adult volunteer role of the member. Only one member of the family may use the email address entered for the family. If a member does not have their own email address, this field can be left blank. If the member does not have a mobile phone, you may enter a valid phone number or leave the field blank. The number of previous years in 4-H is the number of years you participated in 4-H. You can also leave this field blank. Once you've completed all the information on this screen, click Next. Complete the About You, Demographics, and Emergency Contact sections with the requested information. For race, please select all categories that apply. See this description for each category in the Family Enrollment Guide. Enter the emergency contact information and click Next. Click I want to join 4-H as a new or returning 4-H volunteer and click Finish. You have now added an adult volunteer to the family. To add a youth member, click Add Member. Choose to join 4-H and click Next. Remember, throughout 4-H Online 2.0, the term member is used to refer to both youth and adult volunteers. Enter the member's information. The birth date is used to determine the youth or adult volunteer role of the member. Only one member of a family may use the email address entered for the family. If a member does not have their own email address, this field can be left blank. Once you finish entering information, click Next. Complete the About You, Demographics, and Emergency Contact sections with the requested information. For race, please select all categories that apply and see the description for each category in the Family Enrollment Guide. Enter the emergency contact information. This should be someone other than a parent and guardian. You will enter parent and guardian information in a different section of enrollment. Once you have entered all information, click Next. Select I want to join 4-H as a new or returning 4-H member and click Finish. You have now created a youth member in the family. Now let's look at the family experience in 4-H Online 2.0 in creating a youth enrollment. The enrollment process for new and returning members is similar to the process families experienced in 4-H Online 1.0. Families from other states using 2.0 have reported that this is simple and easy. Resources to help families through this process include the Family Enrollment Guide and the Family Video. Let's take a look at the Family Video. For best system functionality, Registration Max, the vendor of 4-H Online 2.0 recommends the use of Chrome and Firefox browsers. Log in by entering your email and password, then click Sign In. If you are a new member and your name is not yet listed in the family member list, click Add Member and follow the steps. If you are returning, click Continue Enrollment or Enroll Now. In 2.0, Unit has replaced the word Club. Read the page message. On many page messages, there are hyperlinks. To open a hyperlink in another tab or window, right-click on the hyperlink and choose how you would like to open it. This example opens the Family Enrollment Guide. Use the bookmarks to navigate to the area that you need to see to continue with enrollment. You will also notice the invoice amount will show $0. UC-A&R is not able to collect enrollment fee payments through 4-H Online 2.0. You will work with your unit leader and local 4-H county office to pay your enrollment fees. To proceed, click Select Units. Select the county in which your unit is located. Choose Youth Volunteer Role if appropriate. Click Add next to the unit you would like to join. Repeat these steps to add all units in which you would like to participate. Your local 4-H county office has a list of current units available for enrollment. If you have enrolled in more than one unit, be sure the primary unit is marked correctly. If not, click the Change Primary button to mark a different unit as your primary unit. Click the trash icon to remove a unit from your list. Once all your units have been added, click Next at the bottom of the screen. Read the project's page message. Remember, you can open hyperlinks by right-clicking and choosing to do so in a new tab or window. To continue enrollment, click Select Projects at the bottom of the screen. Select the unit with which you want your project to be associated. Click the Select button next to the project you want to add to the member's enrollment. Select the youth volunteer type, if appropriate, and click Add. Repeat these steps for each project in which you would like to participate. Enrollment must have at least one project selected before it can be submitted. You may only select from projects listed under the units that are part of your enrollment. If you need to add another unit to your enrollment, click the Back button at the bottom of the page. Click the trash icon to remove a project from your list. Once all the members' projects have been added, click Next. Read the page message. The following pages have information that have been previously entered. Take this opportunity to edit and reconfirm this information for accuracy. To continue, click Show Questions. Review information entered in the About You, Demographics, and Emergency Contact sections for accuracy. Remember, emergency contact should be someone other than the parent or guardian. Enter the remaining required fields. To enter the school information, you can choose the county, school district, and school from drop-down menus. Or if you're unable to locate your school, click here and enter the school name and school type. If this member has a family member serving in military service, select the appropriate response, the branch of service, and the branch component. If they do not, select No one in my family serving in the military. Answer the remaining required questions. If your monthly household cash income is at or below 185% of the federal poverty guidelines, you can apply for a reduction waiver for your 4-H program fees. You'll need to contact your county office regarding the request for a waiver. If you meet this requirement, click here. If you do not, leave this unchecked. Review the text about the information that's being requested for this youth member's enrollment. Once you have reviewed this text, click Next. Read the page message. For youth members, all questions on the next page are required and must be answered to proceed with enrollment. Click Show Health Form to continue. When Yes is marked for several questions on the health form, a text box will appear to enter the details. Answer all required questions. Enter the member's legal last name and legal first name. This may be different than your lived or preferred names. Read the vaccination notice from California 4-H Youth Development Program. Continue to respond to the remarks section. Review the youth medical release. You can download a copy of this authorization by right-clicking and choosing to open in a new tab or window. Click the appropriate radio button and enter the member's name, the parent guardian name, and click Next. Read the page message. In 2.0, consents have replaced authorizations. To continue enrollment, click Show Consents. Complete all consents shown on the screen. To download, right-click and choose to open in a new tab or window. Click the appropriate radio button and enter the member's name and the parent guardian's name. You must agree to some consents to proceed with enrollment. If you have questions regarding a particular consent, contact your local 4-H county office. Click Next at the bottom of the page when you are finished. Review the enrollment information. If anything appears incorrect, use the back button at the bottom of the page to go to that section to make corrections. Once you've verified that all the units and projects are listed correctly, click Submit. You will receive an email to let you know your enrollment has been submitted. Now, let's go over the Adult Volunteer Enrollment Family Experience in 2.0. The enrollment process for new and returning adult volunteers is a bit different than what was experienced in 4-H Online 1.0, as individuals submit their enrollment into 4-H and then complete their volunteer screening, previously called the confidential self-disclosure in 1.0. Resources to help family through this process include the Family Enrollment Guide and the Family Video. Let's take a look at the Family Video. For best system functionality, Registration Max, the vendor of 4-H Online 2.0, recommends the use to Chrome and Firefox browsers. Enter your email address and password. Click Sign In. On the next screen, you'll see the family member list. If your name is not yet listed, click Add Member and follow the steps for adding a new member to the family. If you're returning to 4-H, your record will be listed below. Click Enroll Now or Continue Volunteer Application. At least one volunteer type is required during the enrollment process. You may add additional volunteer types later if needed. This page has several hyperlinks. To open the hyperlink, right-click and choose to open in a new tab or window. You will notice the invoice amount will show $0. UCA&R is not able to collect enrollment fee payments through 4-H Online 2.0. You will work with your unit leader and local 4-H office to pay your county enrollment fees. Select volunteer types to indicate how you're planning to participate in the program throughout the year. Select the volunteer type by clicking Add next to the volunteer type role. Remember, in 2.0, Unit has replaced the word Club. If you're a project leader for a specific unit, you will need to select Unit Volunteer Type and Project Volunteer Type. Repeat these steps for each volunteer type in which you would like to participate. Click the trash icon to remove any volunteer types from your list. Once you have added all volunteer types that you would like to participate for the year, click Next. Read the page message. Click Select Units to choose units in which you would like to volunteer. Select the county, unit, and volunteer type that corresponds with the unit in which you would like to participate. Click Add next to each unit. Repeat these steps for each unit you would like to participate. If you have enrolled in more than one unit, be sure to check the primary unit is marked correctly. If not, click Change to Primary button to mark a different unit as your primary unit. Click the trash icon to remove a unit from your list. Once all your units have been added, click Next at the bottom of the screen. Read the page message and click Select Projects. Remember, enrollment must have at least one project selected before it can be submitted. Select the unit from the drop-down menu to display the projects and click the Select button next to the project you would like to add. Select the project volunteer type that best describes your involvement and click Add. If you don't see the volunteer type that you need, click the back button and add that volunteer type. Repeat these steps for each project you would like to participate. Click the trash icon to remove a project from your list. Once all projects have been added, click Next. Read the page message and click on Show Questions to continue the enrollment. On the next page, you will review information entered in the About You, Demographics, and Emergency Contact sections for accuracy. Fields that must have a response are marked with a red required. Enter information on military involvement, highest level of education, alumni information if applicable, and county newsletter preferences. Review the message about information being requested as part of the adult volunteer application. Once you have finished, click Next at the bottom of the screen. Read the page message. Most questions on the health form are optional for adult volunteer applicants to answer. The decision to provide responses to any or all questions will not affect the review of the adult volunteer enrollment application. Click Show Health Form to continue. For many fields on the health form, when yes is marked, a text box will come up to enter the details. Only those fields with a red required must be completed to proceed with enrollment. Enter the legal last name and the legal first name. This may or may not be different than your lived or preferred names. Read the vaccination notice from California 4-H Youth Development Program. Review the adult medical release and click the radio button to affirm you have read and agreed to the adult medical release. Click the Next button at the bottom of the screen when you are finished. Read the page message, and 2.0 consents have replaced authorizations. Click Show Consents at the bottom of the page to continue enrollment. Complete the consent shown on the screen. You must agree to some consents to proceed with enrollment. If you have questions regarding a particular consent, contact your local 4-H county office. Other consents will be completed by entering the member name when shown and clicking the appropriate radio button. Remember, hyperlinks can be opened by right-clicking and choosing to open in a new window or tab. Click Next at the bottom of the page when you are finished. Review the enrollment information. If anything appears incorrect, use the back button at the bottom of the page to go back to that section to make corrections. Once you've verified all units and projects are correct, click Submit. Click Confirm to continue to volunteer screening. You will receive an email to let you know your enrollment has been submitted and another email when your local 4-H office has approved your enrollment. In 2.0, volunteer screening has replaced the confidential self-disclosure form. Click Show Screening to continue. Complete the screening questions. Remember, fields marked with the red required must be completed to proceed with enrollment. Take your time when filling out this screening to ensure that all responses are accurate. Review the volunteer background screening message and click the radio button to acknowledge that the above is true and correct. Enter your name and then click Submit. UCANR is not conducting volunteer training through 4-H Online 2.0. Please see your enrollment submission confirmation email for information on how to log in to eExtension and complete volunteer trainings that are required. Your enrollment will not be approved until you've completed all required trainings. If you have any questions about volunteer trainings, contact your local 4-H county office. Thank you for completing this 4-H Online 2.0 training on family resources. I encourage you to review the Family Enrollment Guide and use the test system link contained within it to practice going into the system and entering enrollments as a family. Additional family resources are in development. Please take a moment to complete the post-training evaluation. Feedback provided will be used to make improvements and decide topics for future 4-H Online 2.0 trainings. The link to this survey, as well as these slides, will be posted on Collaborative Tools.